How important was it that we got to this point? How much was the people you represent hurting?
I think it was extremely important. I think that the transportation system in America was brought right to the edge of the cliff. We saw evidence of that in the LaGuardia airport today. The air traffic control system has been in a state of chaos. Transportation security officers under an absolute state of duress. The two things that shouldn't be introduced into a complex transportation network are fatigue and stress, and that's all that's been introduced. So this is a welcome reprieve.
Had safety of air travel been threatened?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We were spiraling to a point where the threshold over what's safe and not safe was going to be quickly crossed. And in fact, over the next 3 weeks, we're not even out of the woods yet. There's, again, a state of fatigue, a state of stress. Over this last 30, 35 days, 1,800 transportation safety officers that do screenings at airports have quit. Air traffic controllers are in a state of total shock, to be honest, from forced overtime and just the ugliness of this situation over the last 30 days. And there's even some more glaring issues than that. The foreign maintenance that's done on overseas properties, in other words, off U.S. soil, that we have very little access to begin with. The only stop to bad things happening over there are FAA inspections overseas, and those inspections have totally ceased, and they are not going to begin again in the next 3 weeks.
Okay, so what you're saying is the end of the shutdown, as they're voting on Capitol Hill, does not mean the end of the pain.
No. There's going to be, if it's a 3-week shutdown, if it's a 3 weeks is not enough time for the system to recover from the damage that was done to it.
When you say, so 1,800 of those screeners have left the job entirely, they've quit, right?
Yes.
Where are the other stress points? Is it just because of absenteeism elsewhere, or just, the stress of working without pay?
I think so. Just with the air traffic controllers, there was already severely depleted staffing levels in New York. There are airports in New York, JFK, where they're 40% below normal staffing levels. So you add the shutdown into that equation, and it's, I think, a testament to the workforce, the air traffic controllers and the TSOs, that something really disastrous hasn't happened already.
I interviewed the dean of the Maxwell School of Public Citizenship at Syracuse University, and he told me, he wrote an op-ed about this, and said that the shutdown would discourage future generations from working for the government out of a sense of public service over the fear that their livelihood, that their families could be put at risk for political reasons. What's your sense? Is this enough to convince people not to work for the government?
I don't know about enough to convince people not to work for the government, but the fact of the matter is that technologically skilled folks, technicians, they come to work for the government because they get a steady paycheck. So they perhaps give up greater salaries in private industry to come for that promise of a steady paycheck. And this has been no steady paycheck for the last 35 days. It's been a disaster. So it would not be surprising if we lose tons of talent that we would have otherwise retained.